1996. The year 1996. This year saw the 6th edition of the ICC Cricket World Cup. This year saw the dawn of a new era in cricketing history. This year saw an entirely novel format to the game we played. This year saw Sri Lanka become champions. Good evening, guests and fellow Toastmasters. Before this tournament began, Sri Lanka had an impeccable record in the World Cup. In all the 5 previous editions, they had managed to exit from round 1. They had played 21 matches, won just 3. So, I wouldn't be wrong if I would say that the ardent fan of Sri Lanka would not have placed bets on Sri Lanka themselves. That, the most cricket pundits said, was Sri Lanka was a team that was just making numbers. But then what happened in 96 was monumental, historical and revolutionary. For Sri Lanka went on to create a buzz in the tournament. A tiny island in the South Indian Ocean went on to defeat the cricketing giants like India, Australia and England, and mind you, defeat comprehensively. What happened there? What went that was so outrageous? What went on that made Sri Lanka from being just a team to becoming the team of the tournament? To answer this question, let's go back to the approach that the teams adopted in 1996. Before the tournament began, most teams wanted to save off the new ball, score at around 3.5, 4 and over, and then the slog overs, score and up the ante. Mind you, this is an era wherein a score of 225 to 240 in a 50 over game was very highly appreciated. In fact, scoring at more than 5.5 or 6 and over was practically unheard of. And it is in this environment entered Sri Lanka's head coach, Dave Watmore. And he advised his Sri Lankan openers, Sanath Jayasuriya and Romesh Kaluwithrana, to do something unprecedented. The strategy was simple. In the first 15 overs, 9 fielders stand inside the 30-yard circle and only 2 stand outside. That means if you hit the ball in the air over the fielders, the chances of getting caught are very low. And that means you can score runs very quickly. The target is score more than 100 runs in the first 15 overs. The result, by the time these 15 overs will be over, Sri Lanka would have zoomed to a head start, making the contest hopelessly one-sided. The deadly duo of Sanath Jayasuriya and Romesh Kaluwithrana were terrific in their attack. Merciless, I must say. In fact, I remember in a group game against India, they made Manoj Prabhakar, a decent Indian medium pacer, ball off spins. Now, for those who are not cricket fans, trust me, it's like Ronaldo playing defender. That doesn't happen, right? That's the kind of ferocity he had created in those era. Sri Lanka had won the tournament and changed the game upside down in one single act. That for me is the biggest paradigm shift I have ever come across. A term first used by Thomas Kuhn in 1962, and it refers to a change brought by an agent of change and not brought on its own. For example, buying Coke instead of Pepsi is not a paradigm shift. It's a change of choice. But buying bottled water instead of regular normal water is a change and a paradigm shift, because then you're completely changing your thought. Let me give you another example. 1500 years ago, the best mind on this very planet believed that Earth was at the center and the sun made a revolution around it. Imagine that. Every school, year after year, generation after generation, you are taught sun is revolving around the Earth, until up stepped Galileo Galilei, who showed that it is the other way around, that the Earth, like any other planet, revolves around the sun. Now, for many of you, this might seem normal, but in 1632, Church found this highly nettlesome. In fact, they went on to stop Galileo at such a level that he was arrested for the rest of his life. He was not allowed to speak in public, and that he was exposed to torture. Imagine that. But then, my friends, your thoughts and a fact are not prisoners of one's whims and fantasies. And Galileo just proved that the geniuses could be wrong. He came on and proved at his own personal cost that if you are willing to stand your point, you would end up being revolutionary. No wonder he's called the father of modern astronomers. The point is simple here. Look around yourself. Look at the situations, equations, and relations you handle day in, day out. Look into yourself and look at your beliefs, logics, and figures that guide you when you face a problem. Challenge them if you can. Galileo did that. He showed what it meant to challenge geniuses. 1500 years of legacy challenged in one single point. Sri Lanka, on the other hand, showcased the entire world what it meant by playing cricket in an attacking format. A format that we so love, cherish, and nourish. Two clear examples showcasing that how can we change the world by thinking out of the box. And mind you, if you are thinking out of the box involves epic proportions, you're grossly mistaken. An FMCG brand actually came up with an idea to increase the consumption of the toothpaste by increasing the width of the paste hole. Every time you squirt it, it gave 40% more, from 5 mm to 6 mm. 1 millimeter increase and a 40% increase in the consumption of toothpaste. How about this being a genuine out-of-the-box solution? I end today now by asking you one moot question. Are you willing to take the road less traveled? Are you willing to move ahead, burn your fingers, and be mocked upon? Are you willing to challenge the age-old conventions that socially hold true? Are you willing to be the next game changer? Thank you.